Millennials are the fastest growing generation in the workforce today. Their emergence creates a new dynamic with 3 and even sometimes 4 generations working side by side. A new study uncovered different attitudes and beliefs, all factors when it comes to getting a job and keeping employers happy. Millennials researcher and strategist Jason Dorsey joins us alongside Adam Rogers of the Ultimate Software Group. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Thanks for having us.
Jason, I want to start with you from a generational perspective. What was the most, unexpected finding from this study?
Yeah, the most shocking finding from a generational perspective was that 43% of millennials said they wanted feedback every single week, and that's twice as much as any other generation. So the idea that we're needy may not be too far from the truth, but what I think is important and shocking is that what that means to us is we want more communication, more frequency of it, and that's very different and difficult for other generations to give, and I think why we're seeing new technologies come in to kind of make that easier.
Yeah, real quick, let me back up a second. We have some viewers out there that may not know what millennials are. What age group do you consider that?
Yeah, based on our research, millennials are ages 19 to 37 roughly.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
we're the sweet spot of new workers, young professionals, managers, and so forth moving up.
Right. So what are
we're the kids of boomers.
Yeah, no, I know, I get that. But what are the biggest things that millennials found acceptable to do at a job interview that other generations maybe wouldn't even consider? Because I think it seems like attitudes have changed there when it comes to those interviews.
Yeah, one of the shock stats that we found was that over 30% of all millennials, that's over 20 million people, said it was okay to arrive up to 5 minutes late to a job interview or to text message while you're in the actual interview. So that's definitely a turnoff for other generations.
Yeah, and Mike, I'll speak as the token Gen X person here. For Ultimate Software, when we did this research, it was really important to understand the dynamics of, as you said, the 3 and sometimes 4 generations at work. Yeah. There are some amazing facts about these Gen Ys, but what we found really, really interesting was that the rest of the generations are starting to behave a lot like the millennials. We found in our research that 1/3 of job seekers, so that includes all the generations, 1/3 of job seekers said that if they had to fill out a single piece of information twice in a job application, they would just quit. They wouldn't even apply. Wow. So I think it's really starting to merge in terms of the attitudes.
I think the fact that you said
everybody wants to be like millennials. It's more fun.
Well, of course it is. Yeah, but I think it raises a good point, though, that a certain majority of, not a majority, but a certain segment of millennials think it's okay to be 5 minutes late. When I was, going to these job interviews, if you were 5 minutes early, you were late. You know what I'm saying? So there is a difference in attitude there. So why did you commission this survey? Because what can we learn from all this information?
Well, I'll tell you, I think what we have to learn from it is really simply that if you're an employer, you have 80 million millennials coming into the workforce, there are definitely some behaviors that are probably never going to be accepted, like being late for job interviews and things like that. But the reality is they're entering the workforce. And if you want to have systems in place to engage the millennials quickly, you're going to have to be aware of this research. We found, again, it's millennials, almost 40% of them believe they should be able to fill out a job application from their phone. So if you're an employer and you're looking to hire, and hopefully we see the economy start to continue to grow, then you better be prepared and have systems in place to capture the attention of the millennials.
It seems like,
I think the bigger thing for us was, yeah, go ahead.
No, it seems like younger employees, they seem to be needier on the job, or is it something different than that?
Personally, I don't think it's, Jason may disagree, I don't know that it's needier. If I'm going to give them really the credit they deserve, it's really about being transparent. Again, looking at the whole sample set, we found that 3/4 of job applicants said that they want to know exactly why they were hired over other applicants. That's kind of a level of transparency. I think it borders on entitlement, or neediness. But I do think that the things that we can learn as employers is how do we take those things and look at them more like as transparency and speed, and less about some of the negative kind of negative things that you think about.
Well, I disagree with Adam politely, but so needy to me simply means in this case different. Yeah. When people think of needy, it just means I have to do something different. And we believe, Adam and I both, that millennials bring really important skills, valuable skills, a lot of ambition and excitement and energy to the workforce, and we need millennials. But when you show up and you define loyalty as working somewhere for 7 months at a minimum, like that's being loyal to over 30% of millennials, then there certainly is a conversation here around they want communication differently. That impacts retention, innovation, workforce reviews, and so forth. And that is different, and that is a challenge for managers. And I think the bottom line from the research that Ultimate Software did is the idea that this new generation's here. They do expect some things to be different, and that the companies who get it right are going to have a huge advantage over those who choose not to adapt.
Yeah,
and that to me is really the big message.
Yeah, we could go on. I hate to cut you off here, but we're out of time. How about a real quick website we can go to, our viewers can go to learn more about the study and the companies?
Sure, you can go to ultimatesoftware.com, and right there you'll find a link to get the entire study, all the different insights, as well as some recommendations that we share on what you can do now for absolutely for free.
Adam and Jason, thanks for your time this morning. We got to go. Thanks a lot. All right, in our picture of the day, how one grandmother celebrated her 79th birthday with a first. Here's a hint. It's something you might have already done this morning.